Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. My name is Mike Zegadlo. I'm the Chief of Police here at Lewis University, and I'm going to speak with you for the next few minutes about the Lewis University Police Department and public safety here on campus. So Lewis University does have a police department compared to some campuses that have a security or a safety department. We actually have our own police department comprised of officers that work for the university. Our police department is located in the Learning Resource Center, currently on the ground floor. We do have plans to be moving in the next few weeks, probably over to West Hall. So this other graphic here will show you what the journey from the LRC, starting via Google Earth, floating from our current location in the LRC across campus due southwest, past the Student Recreation and Fitness Center, and landing at our new building, which will be West Hall. And we'll probably be making this move to West Hall sometime in the early fall semester, probably during the month of October. But we will maintain an outpost in the Learning Resource Center where we're currently located, so students can still stop in there, ask questions, get student IDs, drop off lost and found, etc. So our police department is comprised of three different types of personnel. We have our sworn certified police officers, like you see in the middle here. They are have all of the authority and capabilities and training that a municipal police officer has in the state of Illinois. So they are armed, they can make traffic stops, they can perform arrests. But having sworn police officers allows us to hire staff that are experienced, that have kind of been there and done that. All of our officers come to us with previous experience, so we don't hire untrained people and send them to the police academy. We hire only people who've been experienced. A lot of our officers are retired municipal officers, so they have great capabilities. We do joke with the students that we are not Paul Blart Mall Cop. We are actual sworn certified police officers. So that helps them to understand that. Our other professional staff wearing a light blue uniform are our campus safety officers. These are non-sworn personnel who work in our police communications center. They help with service calls. So if you're locked out of your vehicle or you need an escort from building to building, a campus safety officer will often be dispatched to those types of calls. And then we have a group of student workers called campus safety assistants. They help out in the central office by making student IDs and helping with lost and found. They also help us by doing walking patrols of campus and kind of being extra eyes and ears, and help us with special events like commencement, directing traffic, and things like that. So if your student's interested in getting some experience working for our police department, they can, and they qualify for federal work study, they could apply to be a campus safety assistant and work with us. So the good news is there isn't really a lot of crime on campus, and almost all the crime we do have on campus is preventable. So when I talk to students, I talk about the fact that crime on campus requires these three ingredients to be in place. The bad guy's got to be able to do the crime, the bad guy's got to want to do the crime, and the bad guy's got to be presented an opportunity to commit the crime. If we work together as a community, we can mitigate that opportunity by doing things like locking our car doors and locking our residence hall doors and minding our electronics and not leaving our cell phone laying around when we go to the bathroom. Those are all those little opportunities that that if we worked on together as a community, we can help prevent crime on campus. I tell our students that the stronger our community is, the lower the crime rates are on campus. And that's true for anywhere, whether we were a municipality or a campus. The more interconnected people are, the more people that you're looking out for and that are looking out for you and that you know and that you care about, naturally, the lower the crime rates are on campus. The other thing we encourage our students to do is to report any type of suspicious activity. So they can do that by utilizing any one of our emergency call boxes on campus, or most of them are going to do it by calling us from their cell phone, which they would need to enter this number, 815-836-5911. That's our police emergency number. I encourage the students to program that into their cell phone so that it's ready for them when they need it, if they need it at any time. And that will get you to our police communications center, which is staffed by one of our campus safety officers 24/7. One of the advantages of not having a lot of crime on campus allows us to use our professional public safety staff to do a lot of community education and crime prevention programming. So we do training for, we do guest lectures in classrooms, we come to residence halls, we do training for sports teams and faculty and staff groups and student organizations. What you see on the screen here are just some of the common training topics that we're involved in. We have nationally certified instructors in things like ALICE, which is an active shooter response protocol, and RAD, which is a women's self-defense and situational awareness program. And then we've got officers who have great experience in all of the other things you see listed there. And then we also have, going on a second year now, our Comfort Canine Jet, who is handled by our midnight shift or our afternoon shift Sergeant Lyle Nettles. Jet is a golden retriever that's been specially trained to only be a buddy. So Jet doesn't sniff out drugs or chase down bad guys or find bombs. He's just a cuddle buddy, and he's been specially trained to do that. And it is really helpful with our students who might be experiencing a mental health crisis or just having a bad day. Or sometimes Jet just makes an appearance at a program and kind of brightens up the mood just by being present to folks. So our students can request Jet to specific events if they want him there. Otherwise, he's out on patrol on afternoon shift between 3 p.m. and 11 p.m. with his handler, Sergeant Lyle Nettles. All of our students are required, if they have a car on campus, to have a parking permit. The good news is the parking permits are free, and there's always parking available. What sometimes our students struggle with a bit is whether or not it's convenient for them. So sometimes our students want to pull their car right up to the building where their classroom is and step right out of their car into their desk. Sometimes you have to walk a few steps between where your car is parked and where you're going to eat lunch or where you're going to have your next class. So I recommend to students when they come on campus, find a good parking space, park your car there, and leave it all day and walk our beautiful campus and enjoy the trees and the landscaping, and not to think about their car as a way to get back and forth from the dining hall to their first class, to their residence hall, to their second class, to the otherwise they might experience some frustration in finding parking that they find to be convenient. The students can access their parking permits by going to their My Lewis portal and clicking on the parking permit icon. They'll be taken into our third-party vendor, which is called Permit Express, and they'll set up an account. They'll do everything online and enter their address and vehicle information and driver information, and then Permit Express will mail them a sticker for their car. Once they complete the application process and hit submit, they'll immediately get an email with an attached PDF of a temporary permit that they can print and put on their dashboard until their official sticker comes in the mail. The permits need to be in place by the first week of school. So we'll start enforcing permit regulations in the first week of school. And the permits are designated for students by either resident or commuter. So if the student lives on campus in the residence halls, they'll get a red resident sticker. If they are a commuter, they'll get a black commuter sticker. And then the parking lots are delineated by signs on each lot that says who can park where. As long as the student parks in the correct lot, and some of the student lots allow for both resident and commuter parking. Some are just resident, some are just commuter. So as long as the student parks in lots where their sticker aligns with the designation, they shouldn't have any problems. But if they're running late and they park in a faculty staff lot or a visitor lot, or they're a resident and they park in a commuter lot, that's an opportunity for them to earn a parking ticket, which we hope to avoid doing, but we always have some students that have a little bit of trouble regulating that. So all they have to do is check the sign before they pull in the lot and make sure the sign matches the permit on their car. All students are required to have a student identification card, which they can get at our office in the LRC. And that's the part of our office that's not going to be moving. So all they have to do is come to LRG 32 and get their picture taken. Some of them will get their picture taken during orientation or at some other activities, but they do need to carry that student identification card with them. They'll use it for multiple purposes. You can use it to buy food in any of the dining facilities. You use it to get access to the athletic events. You use it to present as a credential in the bookstore, take books out of the library. It's kind of the universal pass on campus. So, and they are required to carry that with them at all times while they're on campus. Police department offers several other services, including lost and found. If their car needs a jump start or they're locked out of it, we'll help them out with that. If they're locked out of the room, we'll help them out with that. If they want someone to walk with them late at night from building to building, we're happy to send a police officer or CSO to do that. We also do investigate and report on all of our own crime on campus. Again, one of the advantages of having experienced law enforcement professionals as part of our team is they're also good, experienced investigators. So when someone's iPhone goes missing, we're generally pretty effective in tracking it down and figuring out who might have snatched it. So we encourage students to report crime to us and allow us to do what we do well in terms of investigating it and resolving it with their cooperation. I want to just mention briefly the concept of the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. This is a federal law that was originally put in place for the purpose of protecting student records. As our students get older and reach the age of 18, their privacy becomes their possession. And as a parent of a former college student, this can be kind of tricky because you're paying the bills and you feel like you should be able to look at their report cards and look at their schedules and look at their information. But it's really up to the student, if the student's over the age of 18, who they allow to look at their information. So frequently this plays out when mom or dad makes a phone call to an office on campus, like maybe the bursar's office, and demands information about the student's account and is told, I can't share that with you, it's an educational record. Or you call the registrar and say, hey, I want a copy of my son or daughter's report card because I paid their bill to be there. The registrar is going to say, we cannot release that to you without your son or daughter's permission. So it can be a little frustrating, especially if we're helping financially, but that's a law that protects their privacy. There are some exceptions to FERPA. So if there's an emergency and someone's safety is at stake, we can share whatever information we want with whomever we want in order to maintain safety on campus. FERPA only protects records. So things like bills, transcripts, report cards, class schedules, student disciplinary records. Those are considered records. FERPA doesn't protect conversations that a student might have with a faculty or staff member, or common knowledge, or what we consider directory information. So like if you go to the athletics website, you'll see names and heights and weights of athletes. That's considered directory information and is not protected by FERPA. If a student is under the age of 21 and violates campus drug or alcohol policy, the Student Conduct Office will initiate contact with parents on those situations. So that's another exception to FERPA. Generally speaking, we want to partner with families and parents for student success. So even though we are very respectful of students' rights to privacy, we can talk in generality, we can talk about policy, and ideally we get the student to come in and meet with us together and give permission for us to share openly with the intent of helping the student. So encourage your students to be problem solvers and advocates for themselves. And if they get stuck, you can help them, but they're going to have to give permission for you to help. The other thing I talk to students about is that in joining our community, they become participants in our campus support system. So we have a team on campus that's called our assessment and care team, which acts as our behavioral intervention team. So the assessment and care team does a few different things. As a behavioral intervention team, it is our threat assessment team. So it serves a function of preventing violence on campus by locating people who might be on a pathway to violence and providing intervention and support to move them off of that pathway to violence. But more commonly, we come in contact with students who are having a rough time, whether they're struggling with a mental health issue or a financial issue or an academic issue. And the ACT helps connect students who need support with the support that they need. So we tell our students, by becoming part of the community, you become part of that support network. And it's part of your responsibility to be aware of your peers that might be in crisis and that might need help. And if they need help, this is an easy way to access it. They can tap into our assessment and care team website, and anonymously if they choose, but if they don't, they can also put their name on it. They can submit a referral that comes to the team. And we will look at that case and figure out what resources and support a student needs and how we can connect them with that resource and support. It's a really great way for us to keep students on track to be academically and personally successful. We handle a lot of these cases every year, and most of them result in successful outcomes for the students involved, and everyone benefits from us working together to keep our community safe. I would encourage you, if you're interested in more details on the police department, to go to our website at luisu.edu/police. We also have a pretty prominent social media profile. So we're very active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we have our own YouTube channel where we have lots of really useful educational videos about a whole number of topics related to public safety. So I encourage you to check any of that out. If you have any questions, give me a call. I'm in my office. Stop by the office. We'll have a cup of coffee. We'll talk about it. Doors always open. You don't have to make an appointment to see me. My number is available out on the LUPD website at luisu.edu/police. But if you want to call me directly in my office, it's 815-836-5021. My email is out on the website also, so feel free to send me a message if you have any questions about anything related to public safety or anything outside of public safety. I was a student here before. I was a parent of a student here before. I'm the husband of a student. I am a son of a student, so I know the university from numerous different angles. And we're glad to have you as part of this family and welcome you to the Flyer community. Thanks.